During our meeting, we discussed three main issues related to the chapter on zoning and compartmentalization, specifically related to the containment zone and the protection zone. We discussed questions related to the chapter on bovine spongiform encephalopathy and the criteria for listing diseases. In relation to the chapter on zoning and compartmentalization, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind the members of the usefulness of these revised concepts of the protection zone, the containment zone. Currently, a protection zone can be established inside a free country, and if an outbreak is detected within that protection zone, the status of the remainder of the country remains unchanged. This is extremely useful in face of risks from a neighboring country or international trade. In terms of the containment zone, this is a tool, as the name implies, to contain an outbreak of disease and regain the freedom status of the rest of the country to continue trade. These two concepts implied that the mandate of the Scientific Commission needed to be expanded to immediately recognize the establishment of these two types of zones. However, these zones are temporal, and they can only be implemented for a period of 24 months, which means that within that time frame, the member country needs to decide if it's going to lift the protection or containment zone, or if they're going to declare them as a permanent zone, in which case they need to follow the process within the war. In terms of BSE, as you know, there were significant changes proposed to the chapter, and it was not submitted for adoption during the past general session. The changes that are more significant are changes in the risk assessment, which now entails an entry and exposure assessment, as well as a change in surveillance, shifting from a point-based surveillance system to a passive surveillance system. We are developing guidelines on surveillance to assist member countries in implementing the new chapter. In terms of a typical BSc, we received several comments from members, and we have addressed those and submitted proposed changes to the Code Commission. A revised chapter will be circulated soon to members. What remains critical is that we avoid the recycling of any kind of BSc into the food chain. With regards to the criteria for listing diseases, we have reviewed the standard operating procedures. We note that experts have difficulty in applying some of these criteria, and we think that by modifying them slightly, the experts will have clearer guidance to apply the criteria for listing.